And welcome back to Who Would Win. It's the week of Who Would Wins. As always, we start off with the week of Who Would Wins with the weekly Who Would Win, if that sentence made any sense. It basically, for anyone who's new to the channel, and I've recently got a couple new subscribers, I always choose a certain subject during when I do Who Would Wins, and that's actually the monthly Who Would Win. And when I get to the week of Who Would Wins, which I do throughout the week, nothing but Who Would Wins, I do two of those to make things go faster. The subject of the monthly at the moment is Magic the Gathering, particularly the Planeswalkers of Magic the Gathering. If you don't know who those characters are, really quick. In the card game Magic the Gathering, there's a lot of lore, a lot of history, a lot of stories that are told. In the lore, the stories, there is basically an infinite amount of worlds or planes of existence, and individuals who can traverse through these planes are called Planeswalkers. Kind of self-explanatory, really. They are more than capable of. They're more than capable of having own abilities. Most of them do have their own abilities. Most of them are quite powerful in their own right. They're above your average spellcaster. So I was going to actually do a different one, but seeing as next week is October, which means I'm going into my Halloween-themed ones next week, the one I was going to do today fits far better with next week than it did this week. So I just decided to flip-flop them a bit. So we're dealing, but anyway, without further ado, we're dealing with Tamiyo, or Tamiyo, depending on your pronunciation. She is what is known as a moon folk. She's from the plane of Kamigawa, which is based off of Japanese folklore, or legends, things along history. So you get a lot of Japanese-inspired myths, legends, you get a lot of spirits, and you get these individuals known as moon folk, who are, excuse me, again, I'm a lot better. I'm actually better than yesterday. Hopefully not as good as tomorrow for my acid reflux, but I've had a couple little burps here today. Nothing serious, though. In fact, it was actually the worst when I was eating lunch. Oddly enough, actually, it's been pretty mellow today, which I'm happy about. Essentially, though, the moon folk, though, are an interesting race. I mean, they actually are capable of levitation in their own build. They have just natural levitation abilities. They look, and you can see the picture I used for in the thumbnail, but they look like very pale people with these weird pointed hair, almost horns on them. But it's not. It's just kind of the way their head is designed, as far as I know. Tamiyo, particularly, when she found out her spark ignited, she decided to go through the multiverse and just learn things. That's why her main primary color of magic is blue, which is for knowledge. She's gone around collecting stories throughout the multiverse. So she carries around a lot of scrolls. Her powers include, and I actually will give this credit, what is this now? Versus Battles, a wiki. Thanks a lot for actually someone who really looked into her abilities, because I'll admit, I didn't know great. Tamiyo is one of the Planeswalkers I know less about than some of the others. But Tamiyo's, basically, she's got a mastery of blue, green, and white, particularly blue. She has natural flight and levitation abilities. She can actually project ice blasts, ice projections. And I'm guessing that's because it's a natural ability of the Moonfolk race on some level. She has interdimensional travel, but that's because they can traverse through different dimensions or different planes of existence. So frankly, that's not going to factor because we never do that in these fights because it's a fight. Telepathy, though, illusion creation, she can cure cure those of their mental problems, such as insanity. When she helped Jace. She has resistance to mind manipulation on her own right. Resistant to Jace, who is one of the strongest telepaths in the Magic world. And wasn't affected by Emrakul's passive mind attacks. Emrakul, for just briefly, is essentially Cthulhu in the Magic world. So basically, the level of telepathic manipulation that it can provide and inflict on someone is immense. Existence Erasure can briefly survive being in the that doesn't qualify for this. Sealing, she has sealing capabilities, but only with her seriously powerful level scrolls. Mostly she was able to seal Emrakul, again the Cthulhu thing, and a moon. But there's a catch-22 with that. Emrakul actually manipulated her into doing it. We don't know why. Magic Nullification. She can channel patterns and tides of the moon to counter opponent's spells. Actually quite powerful. And she probably has some likely regeneration. Other moonfolk were capable of surviving being stabbed in the chest with a sword. So it's likely she has a small level of regeneration. I am, however, not going over any of this like attack potency, speed stuff that this person created because that's no, that's no. Now standard equipment, she does have around a dozen scrolls on her, with 3 of them being in ironclad. So those are scrolls that she's basically sworn never to use. But unfortunately, it has happened where she's had to use them. She's very knowledgeable about her own magic specifically her stories she keeps on her, which stories can translate into magic. She knows vast amounts of other planes. She visited via watching the Planes Channel process, and hearing stories about her plane. Okay. I mean, besides, she'll struggle if her mana's blocked, which, given her opponent in this, CardCaptors Sakura, we'll get to her in a little bit, it's actually possible she might be able to do that. Notable text that he spells via stories. Tamiyo's main source of power comes from reciting stories, usually in scrolls or books. This works seemingly instantly, and many of her powers, such as levitation and illusion creation, come from this. Even though the Moonfolk, I'd argue, is possibly due to Moonfolk characters as well. She has 3 scrolls she keeps in ironclads, and are most powerful and dangerous in the world. Also implying, we've only seen one of those. There's 2 other ones. I have a feeling assuming she comes back in the story, which I'm imagining she would, she's still alive, we may very well see her use one of those spells again. Yeah, and most dangerous in the world around her, and only being used to seal Emrakul, and that was without her major intent. Again, illusion creation. She can make herself look like ordinary furniture or decorations to anyone around her. Ice protection. Once used it to fight against Avison, who was a corrupted angel. Who in the card game is basically indestructible or has protection on some levels, so she's very hard to damage. She spawned icy projections that were flung into Avison's face. Magic nullifications through channeling Moontide patterns. Magic. She's able to counteract and redirect opposing magic, which is very effective. So yes, she is actually quite powerful. She's not uber tier powerful or anything like that, but she is quite powerful in her own right. CardCaptors Sakura, or Sakura, what is her name now? Again, Sakura, was it Kinato or something? That's her name. So with Sakura, she is basically, as I'm relearning here, because I actually did watch CardCaptors as a kid. Yeah, I watched it. What are you gonna do? it's sci-fi and magic and fantasy stuff. I watched it. I don't have to defend myself against you people. Anyway, I'll admit though, I didn't watch anything of the new stuff, which like dealing with this clear card shit. I have no idea what this crap is about. So basically, she was. It didn't start out that way. We found out later. What the hell was that noise? Pop, are you okay out there? We learned that she is like the reincarnation, half of the reincarnation of the wizard that became before her, Cloud Reed. Apparently her magic is extremely powerful. She was able to convert the cloud cards, which we'll get to as our main things, convert the cloud cards into her own cards, and then she had to convert more cards into other cards. It was all long and complicated, but not even complicated. It wasn't simple, but it wasn't complicated. It was like that weird in between. So, I mean, she has a staff that's been changed God knows how many times. It basically allows her to use her cards. She can use the cards' powers even without them. Staff can, I think the staff has a few abilities of itself, doesn't it? Let's see here. Does the staff have a couple abilities of its own? I feel like it does. Let's see here. I mean, the staff is changed. I think the one she currently has is called the Dream Staff? Or Sealing Wands or something like that? Or I'm not certain. Yeah, okay, here we go. Sealing Wands. I mean, she has chance and spells as well, but that's only with the magics, the cards themselves. She doesn't. Here's the thing, from what I can tell about Sakura herself, she's got amazing magical abilities. She can like predict the future, see the past, mostly through like when she's asleep. She can have those prophetic dreams. But the Sealing Wand is really the only thing that allows her to actually use the magic. Yeah, the most clear. The current one is called. I think. Not Star Form. Clear Card Arc. She's got a new wand, yeah. Dream Wand. It seals and activates the cards. that is about all I can really say. That's really all I got on that. If you know otherwise, because I'm looking at the legitimate card captor wiki right now, I'm not getting anything else from that. That's all I'm really getting out of that. So let's see here. Okay, cloud cards. Essentially, the cloud cards are all. Was it like 52 cards? I want to say it was that many. It was quite a few cards. It wasn't like 100 or 1,000,000 or anything like that, but it was a solid amount of cards. I know that. How many were there? Because they all got converted into Sakura and then star cards. Okay, how many of these are there? You know, I'd really like them to tell me how many cards there actually are. There are 19 cards specifically named. Oh, okay, and there are 52 in the series proper, the last from the second movie. Okay, 53, not including the null or the negative card, which we're not going to even bother with. The anime itself had 52, technically speaking. So there's technically in the manga only 19 official cards, but let's be honest, that's boring. So let's give her all 52. I could go over every single one of them. But the problem is not all these cards I think exist at this point. They have been converted. They either have been converted into clear cards. See, I don't know the true specifics about the clear cards. I mean, let's talk about the clear cards real quick, because the Sakura and Star cards are nothing more than just pink versions of the Cloud cards. Okay, where are those damn clear? I had the clear card page up. This is irritating. Okay, come on, clear cards. You're here somewhere because I got to them through this page. So I know they're here somewhere. Hold on. I am sorry for this delay. This is irritating me. Probably not as much as irritating you, but it's still bugging me. Where did the damn clear cards go? This is irritating. Anyway, from the little... Oh, there it is. It was at the top of the damn page. For new cards in the clear... Okay, the clear cards are new cards that started to appear after Sakura cards had turned blank and clear. Ever explain why that happened? It was revealed in Chapter 23 that the new cards were created by Sakura herself without realizing it due to the growth of her magical powers. This girl just sounds like a whole mess of problems in her show. It's like, oh, my powers are growing. I can't control it. Learn to control it. They're growing. I can't control it. As the name states, the cards have a clear background on both sides, but are different from the front and back. They have a frame with the moon and blah, blah, blah. Now, here's the thing. As I was going through all these cards, I'm like, okay. The first couple, it's like seemed like Gale seems like Windy, which was the wind card. Siege, was it Siege? No, it was Aqua, sounding like Watery. But then we have something called Siege, which is like a prison one. Siege appears as a large white rubber cube on the card. Imprison inducement can create a prison. However, someone was able to basically, break free with just a pin, so it's, difficult to state how tough the prison actually is. And then you have other. I'm guessing snooze is probably like a sleep. I think there was a sleep card or a slumber card. Similar to the sleep card. So it seems like a lot of these clear cards has similarities to the other cards. I mean, there's an action card, which basically allows for telekinetic abilities. There is the gravitation, which allows for gravity manipulation. This is in the anime. The reflect card is essentially a reflective shield. Might as well go over. There's only 20 of these, so this is kind of where we're going to have to be with her abilities. There is the record card, which has the ability to film anything and then project it as a realistic hologram. Time projection. Allow to record the past. And flight. It can fly. Okay. Then there's a flight card. I don't even need to tell you what that does. Lucid card. I'm guessing that's like the dream card, hence lucid dreams. No. Oh, it creates invisibility. That's interesting. However, it doesn't last long. Let's see here. We got the spiral card. What's this one do? Spiral card. Does it have any similarity to another one? No, it does not. Imprison Inducement. What? Spiral is a card form. Okay, so it can create an array of tables and towers around the target, trapping them in an endless spiral. Also takes the form of a giant spiral vortex. Vortex transformation. Okay, so you can essentially combine it with the Siege card. Actually, that would be quite dangerous. Apparently, though, Labyrinth kind of trumps the Siege card, from what I could tell. It's also pretty much the Maze card. The Reversal card. Is that anything like the other one? Reversal magic. It has the ability to reverse all things in an upside-down manner. It cannot reverse airborne objects that are capable of flight. Obviously. Or if it does, just, nope, flip it, back it up. Okay, the Hail card, I'm guessing that's like the Ice card, or Frost, whatever it's called. Create the Hailstorm in a given area. No, it's worse. Correct force and angle, it can hit things hard. That doesn't matter, it's the worst version of the Ice card. The Mirage card, I'm guessing Illusions? There we go. Similar to the Illusion card. It seems that the Cloud cards still exist, though. That's the thing. So, I mean, she's got time manipulation cards. She's got element manipulation cards. The Swing card is essentially an Earthquake card. Struggle card. What the hell does this do? And again, there's only 20. That's why I'm actually going over them. The Struggle is fighting. It's the fight. It's a goddamn fight card. Come on, folks. The Appear card, was it like a teleportation card? I'm guessing, maybe. The Create card. Oh, it brought to life all the animal-shaped cakes that were made by Sakura and her classmates in the anime. They eventually merged into a single giant cake monster. It's basically similar to something like the Create card to some degree. It can create things, or basically bring things to life. Blaze is fire, and Mirror, I'm guessing, makes a copy of yourself, because that is a very similar thing. And Imitation Magic, similar to that of the Mirror card. They didn't even bother naming it. Clear cards don't have the, but it's the same damn word. Create all sorts of copies. Okay, anyway. Sakura has all those capabilities. She's got a long history of, I guess, supernatural fighting experience, I suppose you could say, under her belt. Though she's only 13 by the latest series. Tamiyo is a lot older. Or Tamiyo, again, depending on the pronunciation of her name. Excuse me. Let me see here now. She is. Can they give me actual age here? Let's see here. Actually, yeah. When I go to the official MTG wiki, I feel like we might have an age. Lifetime. No, it doesn't know how long. It doesn't actually say how old she is. I'd be willing to guess she's a couple hundred years old, though. Merfolk or Moonfolk, from what I can tell, tend to live longer. So Tamiyo automatically just has a better experience, overall experience over Sakura. Sakura, though, let's not mince words. Sakura has a lot of powers on her side. The issue is she can maybe use one. She can usually only use one. Maybe she can use two at a time. She can merge two cards in one, but it's succession, and using enough of them does take a toll on her. Tamiyo, as far as I can tell, doesn't quite have that limitation. So when this fight breaks down, let's see what happens. So Tamiyo is traversing through the CardCaptor world. And, she's seeing the events, the magical powers. She's sensing the mana. It's like, ooh, I'm going to create stories with this and new powers and all that. So it's so awesome. Sakura's seeing her. She thinks kind of like, is this a test? Is it an enemy? She goes to Confretti's and the flight card. She's levitating to me. So it's like, oh, I'm just here to say, it's like, are you here to clear cards or whatever? Blah, blah, blah. So, ultimately, it will lead to a fight due to misunderstanding. I would imagine that Sakura, despite being kind-hearted, would still see someone who's clearly using magic and the presence of the clear cards and think they either are having something to do with this, even though she did learn it was more her, or they want the power and I can't let them have that. So, Sakura would probably be the one to make the first move. So, she would probably use an offensive move, but a non-lethal, like Windy or the Wind. So, she'd get a giant gust of wind. Throw it at her Tamiyo, and Tamiyo would probably just be flown back, but she would probably counter with her own ice capabilities, freezing them. Most of the ice would probably be blown back, but one of them probably nicks Sakura's like, ugh. Tamiyo's just like, I don't want to fight you, but I will do it if I have to. Or actually, better yet, she would probably, because she has some level of telepathy, not Jace's level, but a level of telepathy. She basically just uses telepathy to just reach into her head and just go, it's like, I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to hurt you if I can help it. But then I will if I have to. And it's like, huh, what? And then she sees Sakura's immediately like a little taken back. She was in her head. It's like, fine then. Uses like the illusion, creates some illusions. But, you know, Tamiyo does that, multiplies her form, does multiple, versions of her there. As they two can play that game. And then, multiple versions of Tamiyo there. So now it's like, okay, so we're going to attack. All of them start to, kind of go through each other. Meanwhile, Tamiyo's getting ready for another spell. And this time she just starts freezing Sakura's feet. It's like, It's like, what are you doing? And then I'll show you some nice hail card. Or hail, yeah, it'd just be a hail card. Hail card. I don't know what the chant is. Whatever the chant is, that's the chant. And just throws throws hail at her. Now Tamiyo's getting bombarded with hail. It's like, stop that. Now, we don't know the full extent of what spell she has on call. We know she has a immensely powerful sealing spell, but unfortunately, she's not going to be able to use that in this fight because she swore not to. The only reason she used it is because she got manipulated into using it. Sakura will not try to go mental battle. She's going to lose that fight. Granted, Tamiyo is not a super powerful psychic or anything like that, but she is powerful enough that nothing Sakura would do would really hurt her mentally. Sorry, I sound like it's either windy or raining outside. But ultimately, it's so ultimately it's something that Sakura knows she can. So she's gonna have to do more like tactic or something like that. She then uses the sea, and then she's getting frozen there. She throws hail up, but Tamiyo's still freezing her there. So she uses the siege card to basically trap Tamiyo in there. Or Tamiyo in there. So now Tamiyo's trapped. Now she doesn't know what to do, how to get out necessarily. Sakura's now just worried. He's like, okay, how do I? She's gonna be in there, but she figures out that the weakness in the siege card, then there might be problems, and she can hear that. She can hear Sakura. She can hear Sakura's thoughts. So there's a weakness, and then she realizes, boom, and then pokes it. Uses some sharp ice, and then just pokes the siege card, kind of like how the pinprick did it. So ultimately, yeah, it's like, so she gets out, and now it's like her magic's powerful. She almost had me in that. If I didn't read her mind, I wouldn't have known how to get out of that. So now Sakura's now she's throwing fire at her. She's getting out of the way. Tamiyo's on the back end now. Now she's got a problem, but she's got one last trick up her sleeves. Sakura goes for another card effect, but now it's like starts to happen. Then it kind of just craps. I was like, what? And then Tamiyo's maybe holding her hand, got to scroll up, and basically she's nullifying her magic. That is exactly what she's doing. And now, no matter, and at that point now, Sakura's kind of done, because ultimately, if Sakura can't use her magic, she has no other abilities that can really save her in this fight. She herself, she's got some magic, but even then, the counter magic would probably counteract that. The little she has, she's got some mild combat experience, but to be fair, so honestly does Tamiyo too. She's been on the battlefield enough to at least know probably some basic hand-to-hand fighting. We know Sakura does, but she oftentimes might use the fight card too instead. So ultimately, yeah, it is Tamiyo who I think wins, because ultimately she'll shut down Sakura's powers. Now, that being said, no one's going to kill anyone. No one's going to even knock anyone out. It's just a misunderstanding is how this fight would end up being. But ultimately, they do both have counter magic, but Sakura can only use counter magic so often and in intervals. Tamiyo just has to have her scrolled out and chanting a spell and basically using the moon's ability to just counteract everything. So ultimately, yeah, Tamiyo is the one who wins the fight. But here's the catch-22 on that. Sakura has so many cards and cards with different abilities that really she could easily win this fight too. I think the majority goes to Tamiyo because her counter magic is easier to cast and more long-lasting than Sakura's, as well as just having a bit more knowledge and a couple more years of experience. Yeah, ultimately, yes, it would be Tamiyo, but Sakura's got, again, a lot of cards on her side. Again, she's got cards that manipulate time, that manipulate earth, that can manipulate dreams. She's got a sword, a fighting card, a creation card, a nothing card, Or I think it's the nothing guy. Basically, she can wipe things out. Basically, she's got a lot of cards, but you also got to factor in her personality too. She is a very kind-hearted person. She's not an aggressive or violent person. It's just in the nature of her work, she does have to maybe push a little bit harder sometimes. But her personality is going to factor into her losing as well. She's probably not going to use some of her more damage-inducing cards or dangerous cards because of that. At least not immediately. And that not immediately is probably going to end up hurting her in the long run. But because of just the sheer variety of what Sakura has on call, I will still go 60-40. I think Tamiyo does win the majority. But Sakura's got a good shot. She's absolutely got a good shot. And I spent like 5 minutes of this video just rambling about the weirdness of the whole card thing. Anyway, though, that's my thoughts on this Who Would Win. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you thought of the Who Would Win. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Do you love me? Do you hate me? Love me. I need attention. Anyway. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I just Who Would Win Star Wars Super Magic. What, if anything, I do on this channel? Put that in the comments below. Let me know. I'll get to a review of it at some point. And if you have a request for a review, put that in the comments below. This week, again, Who Would Wins throughout the week. As a week of Who Would Wins. What ifs on the proper days. There will be a review either for Night School or Smallfoot. I haven't decided which, mostly because this is kind of a crapshoot week of... I don't think I'm going to really enjoy most of the movies coming out. I think Smallfoot's got the best bet because it's at least a kid's animated film, so I can understand the reasoning behind some of the choices, probably. Night School is honestly looking like one of Kevin Hart's lesser comedies, and I have no interest in Hellfest whatsoever, so... To me, it just looks like a generic horror movie. You want to talk about a movie that looks generic? That looks like a generic horror. Just, he's a slasher. They're in everyone's scary in here. That's pretty much a Goosebumps episode. That is a I just freaking realized that is a Goosebumps episode. What was it? Horrorland? Was it? Yeah. Like, my haunted, like, Night of Horrorland or Day of Horrorland, something like that. That's exactly what this is, except you just bumped it up to an R-rated killer now. That is all you did. Shame on you. And I'm sure that's not the only one, too. I'm sure there are other... In fact, this is... Now that I'm thinking about it, I really don't want to see this movie. It is so unoriginal now. At least you get Bigfoot, Sasquatches, Yetis, and Smallfoot, yeah, yo, baby. And at least you get Kevin Hart going back to school. Sure, not original, but it's a comedy. They don't have to be. Then again, I'm sorry. I just don't care about Hellfest at all. I digress. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.